With us is Coach Alex.
Yntriago from Eagle Academy for young men in the Bronx, New York.
I knew I wasn't going to quite get that last name.
It's okay, Kristal.
Hey, what did you think tonight about this historic moment with the wrestling here in Times Square?
Well, let me tell you something. You used the right word, historic. It was amazing. It blew anything that's ever been done in New York City. And no, as somebody who wrestled in New York and coaches in New York City, I was amazed. I was surprised and unbelievable, the words.
Could you tell us a little bit about the history of wrestling in New York?
Up to the early 80s, there was 60-something programs in New York City. In the late 70s, it fell down to about 25. When I wrestled in New York City for Bryan High School in 90 through 94, we had only 18 teams, actually. And out of those 18 teams, we got the New York City squad for the state championship. Now with BTS, we're up to 60 plus high schools and about 60 plus middle schools, cranking out about 2,000 kids a year wrestling.
And that BTS is Beat the Street?
Beat the Street program, bts.org, beatthestreets.org. I mean,
And fill in the audience about this program, Beat the Streets.
it's a nonprofit organization that creates New York City wrestling programs from the middle school level all the way to the high school level, and they offer year-round training for kids that just want to wrestle. It's an amazing thing. I wish I would have had it when I was in high school. I'll be honest with you.
And your son, we hear that you have a son and he's...
I actually have a son that lives in Florida who's actually going to be wrestling for me next year, and he's going to be a senior next year. Willie Vera, one of the kids that wrestled here today, is like one of my sons. We went to the same high school. He's about to graduate from Bryan High School in Queens. I'm an alumni of Bryan High School. Our coach is the same man that's been there since 1981. And I could tell you this much: what went down today is amazing. I'm still in shock. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. You know, being here, I actually had an honor of coaching 2 matches here today. So, you know, it was fun. It was a blast.
And as a coach, what do you bring to it? I mean, what do you tell them, or how do you coach them or lead them?
I actually coach with my actions. I tell them, I show them, and I make sure that I teach them life lessons. Because you know what? Wrestling is the most hardest and demanding sport you will ever find in the history of the sports, period.
Why?
Because it demands so much of you psychologically and emotionally. I've seen kids lose matches and cry like there's no tomorrow. I've seen kids win matches and cry like there's no tomorrow. Because honestly, this is the most toughest sport you will ever find. Head and shoulder above the rest.